What up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a fabulous day today. I got a special guest with us today. I got Mr. Louie, Mr. Do-it-himself type of guy. So today we got his 1975 Monte Carlo in the house. So he's gonna share his experience on the whole project of this car, getting it from scratch. We got clips, photos that I'm gonna show also of the whole process of when you got it from, from scratch. Also gonna be sharing his hydraulic setup and everything that, he's been through and his experience on this amazing car. He is also respected in the lowrider community and loved everywhere he goes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Louie.
How you doing, everybody?
And my boy, so at what age did you start to fall in love with the old school cars?
Oh man, I think since I first started riding a bike, it was always in the family. My father also had a lowrider. My uncles too.
Yeah.
They grew up with Impalas and Monte Carlos Regals as well. So I've always been around the scene as a kid. Chicano Park, for example, the local car shows, Island Avenue. All those times when I go visit grandma, she lived right next to Highland Avenue, so you see that in the late 80s and then the 90s as well. So that's why I kind of had an eye for it. But as a child, though, I mean, you're a kid, so what do? You build a lowrider bike. It's not like somebody built that for me, but I just started taking apart bikes, learning how to sand, and messing with some cheap tools at first, and then try to get a skill. You got to get a skill for going, because you're kind of restoring something that's classic and trying to make it into what your idea is. Always got to start with an idea somewhere. But down the line, yeah, that's how I started with lowriding as a kid, just tearing something down and making it nice again. Seeing my elders and seeing the streets too, the local car shows as well. That was my influence.
Heck yeah. I also had a 1970, I believe it was 76, 78 Schwinn. It wasn't a lowrider bike, but it was nice to build, and that's how I started myself. And then after that, I jumped into my car, which was a 1970 Impala. So who or what inspired you, on the classic cars?
Well, on the classic cars, like I said, my father already had a couple classic cars. He had a 55 Chevy Bel Air wagon.
Yeah.
He had a 56 Chevy Bel Air, an Apache, a 1961 Chevrolet Apache. My mom had a 75 Monte Carlo. She bought it brand new at the dealership at Lamb Chevrolet. I think she said she bought it back like around 1976. She financed it. It was the one in the showroom. And so I was raised in a 75 Monte Carlo. So that was, because I grew up in that car, I kind of had a vision for that.
Yeah.
As far as down the road, I acquired one myself from a local neighbor. And I'm pretty sure if Danny Valdez is watching this, he remembers the day I went and bought it. It was a neighbor in Chula Vista, a block away. It was a family, the Valdez family. Went to high school with them. They had a 75 Monte Carlo. They had it, but I believe the family just wanted to pass it down already. So I just came through with the money. It was one of the best $1,500 I ever spent. And yeah, I came out of the driveway. I already had a driver's license at 16, but at 19 I bought the car. And when I did, I felt like I had wings. You go in places now. The car was in very good condition, complete. Very appealing on rally wheels, white, all original. It didn't have T-top. It had swivel seats. That was a bonus. My mom's car didn't have swivel. It didn't have swivel seats. It had a bench seat in the front. So yeah, I started off with that car.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Right.
And there she is right here, the 1975 Monte Carlo. So what do you got going on here? You got the black paint. What kind of color is that? Like, what kind of black is it?
All right. Yeah. So what it is, it's a House of Colors, Violet Ice. That's what they call it. Right now, it's a little bit overcast, so you're not gonna be able to see the pearl in it.
Right.
But it's a pearl applied over a black. So right now you're seeing nothing but black. Once the sunlight hits it, you'll be able to see the pearl.
Man, you can see the shine right there. You can see the palm trees right there on a cloudy day.
Perhaps, but when the sun hits, it's a whole different tone right there.
Heck yeah, it looks nice already. Even with the cloudiness. But I've seen it already
Yeah, the man behind the gun, well, he did the work because they needed some sheet metal work all around. Was Garfield from Intocable's shop. A big shout out to Garfield, by the way. So he got down, he removed the canister out. It wasn't so cancerous, his body though. However, if I go reverse one more step, I had the car, but I had to redo the car again because I destroyed it with 8 batteries and just messing around with it. And I destroyed the frame, so I had to redo the car again. And I just figured I'll go ahead and acquire a skeleton car. It had no transmission or engine, and so on. There was another 75 body, so I decided to go ahead and build this car out of 2 cars now. Shout out to Fresco from Raza. He actually towed the car from Escondido all the way down here for me. So thanks a lot for that, because I didn't know what to do at the moment.
Frisco, my bad. Frisco,
OG Fresco.
OG Fresco.
So shout out to you, Fresco, and like I said, the next man, Garfield. Shout out to Garfield too. So he got down with it. He sprayed he did this job proper too. Right. He went ahead and took it all down, primer sealed it, went down the road, painted jams, did it all the right way. The car was naked. It had nothing on it. So he got down to it, removed trunks, hoods, all that stuff, and then got down to it. The final product on that right there came out great. Very satisfied with that. I'll recommend that guy anytime.
Let's do a 360 so the people can see what you're working with.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you can see, the car, you see it has T-tops on the roof. Obviously, the body, when I first acquired the car, it didn't have the T-tops. The T-tops, I acquired them from Jose from Group. Shout out to that dude too, Group Car Club. Hey, I know you guys always have clean cars too. But yeah, Jose, he came through one day. This must have been like 2011. He said, hey, you want to convert it to T-tops? I said, yeah, what's up? And he just gave me a smoking deal. I couldn't refuse, so I acquired them. Of course, it didn't come with instructions. I had to figure that out, but worth the while. But on this rebuild here, I had to go ahead and redo the cuts again and so on. Also, I got another friend out there in Colorado, Darren Rivera, out there with the Click in Colorado chapter. He's also building one of these too, but we stay in communication about the cuts and stuff, so we learn off of each other and that stuff. But moving on forward with this, yeah, the car was a basic car. This would be the Monte Carlo S model. Yeah. They call it the S model because it has the swivel seats. It's not the center console, so it's not the bench seat. But yeah, there's a Model S, and you have your Monte Carlo Landau as well. The car wasn't equipped with power locks when I first bought it. It didn't have power windows either. I ended up installing that stuff right there.
Dang, look at those rims. What kind of rims are those?
Oh, those are True Rays, cross lays.
Wow.
Yeah, those I got from Dan Garcia. I sent them to go get it rebuilt. So I got them back, and that was it. I had to put a premium four-way this time around. I wanted to do something different and not be with the radials anymore. So I could, ride like the OGs do. So that's what we got. Engine and transmission they went through a rebuild also. I sent them out to a local shop. Also did the exhaust down the road. But what I did ultimately was I took care of the undercarriage and all that stuff because that was a mess. Although the body was an excellent job, my job was to do the undercarriage and redo the suspension as well. I ended up putting a different differential on there because the experience I have. The Cutlass rear end from 1976 is a lot better than the usual Chevrolet one. They're a lot beefier. Yeah.
Black paint, dude.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's like deep.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Definitely brings a lot of attention. It's a beautiful car. So you got this car pretty much from scratch, right? From the photos and videos.
Yeah. Well, I have pictures of it when it was when I first bought it. It was white. It was an original car with rally wheels. It looked clean though. It was a clean, complete car. So down the road, I ended up acquiring more parts from Ecology. When I would go back in 1988, I would go in there and pull parts out. I ended up upgrading bumpers without the impact stripe. I like the clean look on them. Interior black, because it came with burgundy interior, and I wasn't feeling it too much, so I decided to go ahead and get all the pieces in black from your local Ecology. The badges also changed because I converted to a Landau now. It's fully equipped. It's got a rear defog and the speaker board in the back. The speaker board is one of the hardest things to find on these cars right here that are original because they're made out of a very brittle cardboard. very brittle. But it has a rear defog. It's an East Coast car,
Yeah.
and you know, apparently it worked out. I just had to go ahead and wire it all up. So back to that rear end from a Cutlass. I ended up getting it from some guy in Las Vegas. He actually shipped it all the way down for me, so I got lucky with that because the previous differential was really pitted. The body itself for this final product actually came from Wisconsin. So the salt roads, they ate the crap out of the suspension. Although the body was in good shape because it didn't have cancer on the roof and all that, it had it on the wheel wells.
Yeah.
That's where Garfield came in. But whoever owned, they never washed up the differential or the front suspension as well. So that had to go.
Yeah.
That's why I came in and did that. Got a new gas tank in there as well. But for the most part, I also wanted to get some Red's hydraulics in there.
Yeah.
Put it this way, I wanted to do something more traditional. I wasn't gonna be the guy that's gonna get Zeniths. I wasn't gonna be the guy that's gonna get Black Magics, because that's some dark crap. I wouldn't.
Yeah, Red Hydraulics, they've been around for a while. So I know when I was growing up, back in when I was, like, 17, 18, 19, they're around.
Yeah.
So why Reds?
Red, man, there's a legend. You know, well, like I said, growing up in the Lowrider scene, I would see the greatness they will make out of these cars, from the Redosaurus, the Joker, the Black Widow, etc. down the road, and they perform well. Like I said, the theme of the car is a traditional. It means it's classic, like 90s style or 80s style, because of the look. They have to all flow together. See, building a car, it's not just like it has hydraulics and rims and I'm done.
Yeah.
And a paint job. It's more like, what do you want it to look like at the end? I wanted this car to look like it came out of, like, I don't know, 1988 Lowrider magazine. So I went with the rim.
Yeah, this is definitely
The setup.
like I said, it's a panty dropper and definitely belongs in Lowrider magazine, in a magazine for sure.
The small chain steering
Yeah.
wheel. The rest hydraulics got to be appropriate too for the year.
Oh, can we check that out? The hydraulics.
Yeah, absolutely. So remember I was telling you in the beginning how I tore the crap out of the car?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to do that no more. I mean, there's different lowriders, there's hoppers, there's show cars, there's ultimate show cars, there's street cars. This would be the street car right here. Four batteries.
You got a lowrider hitting switcher right there in Pure Beach.
Yep.
That's how you do it out here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that cat right here, he's an IV.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a rider. He's always out here.
Heck yeah.
So I kept it simple. I decided to go lightweight. 4 batteries. Got the Fat Max pumps in there. The Fat Max pumps, I sent out the blocks to get polished out.
Yeah.
I had my daughter build them for me. She already knew. She was 16 at the time. She already knew how to do all this stuff watching me. So I decided to go ahead and assign that to her. I used some Presto Light motors.
Yeah.
The Fat Max blocks, obviously they don't make those anymore. Or they started to again, but they're not called Fat Max. And the Reds plates and so on. So all that stuff. We got the Reds dumps on there as well. The Parker valves, solenoids as well.
So how much, like something like this, like the setup, how much would everything be, for this type of setup right here? And would it be like a 8 switches, 16 switches?
Well, this right here, I wired it for 8 switches.
8 switches?
I mean, you really don't need them, but the more switches, the more you can do more independent moves.
Yeah.
It's not a dancer, but I like having the extra switches, so in case if I have an emergency, I can just dump one of the wheels down, one of the cylinders down all around, and just get to the issue a lot easier.
Yeah.
But as far as that goes, I don't know. I mean, I think that maybe there's not really much of a number I can tell you on what a setup like this will cost.
Yeah.
Because I salvaged all these pieces, right? The Fat Max pumps.
Yeah.
I went to Riverside. Somebody was just selling them on Marketplace. The batteries, I mean, you just kind of buy them for like $100 each.
Yeah.
They're new. And then the motors, etc. So it's just kind of like whatever you get, man. I can't really tell you a ballpark price on it. I didn't spend like a grand lot of money. This is a homemade car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't built by a shop. It was built by me in my driveway.
Yeah. What type of man do you have to be, you know what I'm saying, to have this patience to build these cars?
Man, in all honesty, you gotta do things the right way. You gotta do things in a safe manner, man. I mean, I really wouldn't tell somebody that's never been under the car to go for it, and the car that falls on them or whatever. You know, just kind of like roll. I would say for anybody who's trying to do this, just come around the guys that do this stuff.
Yeah.
Even if become an apprentice, just show up, see what they're doing, what they're not doing, and maybe you can pick something up from there. That's the way I did it.
Hands-on pretty much, right? Hands-on
Yeah, pretty much. You know, you got yourself some tools and stuff. It's just something that you acquire, like I said, if you are mechanically inclined because you like to take things apart and so on, then you know what you're going to do there. Asking, you receive knowledge if you ask, man.
Yeah.
From anything, from the engine down to electrical, down the road. I know this car had no electrical in it. I put that all together, and it worked out great. So, at this point, my boy right here.
We got the leaking, the sneaking leaking right there. You got Mitchy Slicks playing in the background. Trigger Racing Station.
Yeah.
That's a classic right there, man. We got Majestic in the house.
Yeah, he's gonna make it. He's gonna make it hot ready. There you go.
That's what's up. San Diego, Lowrider City for sure. You know what I'm saying?
It is, man. It's either in you or it's not.
Yeah.
Those that want to build a car will do it. I wouldn't say, you know, there's a difference between doers and dreamers.
Yeah.
You know, maybe some people might have the car. Oh, I'm gonna fix it up.
Yeah.
And they start tearing it down, and then they just never got back to it. And 7 years later.
Hey, my boy. So,
know.
what is the most challenging part in building? You know, what I'm saying, a classic car, lowrider, because it's pretty much a classic car / lowrider. So, what's the challenges you face or people face?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this, because I know everybody in the lowrider game. They're doing what they're doing, and they're out there because they're doing, and they have the energy for it. You just know that lowriding, I gotta say, it's about 85% labor, and the rest is fun after that. Because you gotta shine, you gotta get it ready, you gotta charge up,
Yeah.
you gotta make sure your tires are good, you gotta know you're rolling clean. You know what I mean? You're gonna perform out there, and the other stuff is just putting gas and just driving it. So it's labor, bro. It's labor. It's like bragging rights sometimes. But however, just stay humble. Just stay humble out there in the streets. Don't come out here to your horn, because you know, you come around people, you want to go ahead and give your hand out. Anybody ever needs a hand out there, I'm always willing to come through, no matter what.
Yeah. So let me show with this question. So if you got switches, I don't know, like I don't really know the answer to this, and maybe a lot of people don't. Maybe you do, but like say you got a hopper and you got another hopper, and the other hopper pulls up. Is that like is that some type of like a duel or challenge, or what do you think of that?
You know, there's a place for all that stuff, man. I mean, it's just you know, you got your San Diego teams, your LA teams, your LA Empire teams, and you got your El Centro and all that stuff. Everybody rolls in a team, and they kind of arrange that stuff. Or sometimes you catch them out there, and maybe you lost last time, you go at them. I'm not in the hop game, but I can say that, you know, just rolling up and then just being a loudmouth out there. Being a loudmouth, it's gonna get you either served this way, or it could go a different route. I like seeing people just challenge each other with the car.
Yeah.
The car do the talking, man. It's not a beef, man. It's just a street show, and it's just street talk, really. That's what it is.
That's what's up.
But as far as like rolling up, yeah, you're supposed to hit your switches. Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You're supposed to come through and roll out and use the car and use it for what it's for. But though, I wouldn't use the car for boasting or putting someone down. I'd rather help somebody out all day long, like I said. Many times I get hit up on, hey, can you come through? And yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah.
You got a question? Okay, I can answer that. Or I might have the question, I need the help. I'll come through, you know. But yeah, don't use it for disrespect. It's a way of doing things.
Yeah, so what is your setup? Oh yeah, that's what 8 switches right there, huh?
Yeah, it's just 8 switches. I mean, obviously you got always your front, back.
Oh, dang.
You know, just what you got, front, back.
Yeah.
It's a lay and play setup, man. I'm not a hopper.
Yeah. Wow. Side to side. You make it dance, man. Make it dance. Wow. So you pretty much have the basics. So what is the fundamental principles on a basic hydraulic setup? And then versus someone that has like a hopper, like their setup. Is there like a difference, right?
Yeah, there is. Obviously, the car that's a hopper usually has like multiple batteries way beyond what I have.
Yeah.
I don't know, some right with 8 and beyond that. Then you got to go ahead and reinforce the structure of the chassis too to hold that weight up, because the body will start flexing otherwise. Me on the other hand, I didn't reinforce the car. I didn't do all that. I'm a lightweight.
Yeah.
Play and play. I drive my car, so that's what I'm gonna do with it. Always know ahead of time what you're building the car for. You're gonna be out there serving and all that stuff. But yeah, you gotta go ahead and do some reinforcements there. Carry a lot heavier weight, so you gotta reinforce all the chassis and do all the suspension work. Otherwise, you're gonna destroy the car. Big difference though, because a lot of these cars you hop in, your best bet to trailer them out there, because for highway and all that stuff, you don't want to have a blowout. You don't want to have a blowout or cause an accident. You want to get there and do what you're gonna do with it.
Yeah.
It's like a performance car now.
Yeah.
You want to get out there with it. But in this case, this right here allows me to travel, with more convenience.
You know what? I think I'd rather have something like this. People just coming up and, taking photos of the car, giving you compliments. I'd rather have that than destroying, a car that you put a lot of money on, as like the car. But I mean, to each of their own, it is a, how would I say, it's more like a, it's like a hobby, right? Hobby slash, it's love.
Yeah, it's a hobby. It's just like, it's the street code, it's like you got your break dancing, you got your artist out here too, or whatever. This is the car game right here. And I got respect for the hoppers, man. They put a lot of time and dedication into that. Well done. They do. So it takes talent.
Yeah.
It takes talent. More than I have. I don't build hoppers, so I wouldn't know where to start at. So big shout out to them though.
Yeah.
They really go ahead and put a lot of work in.
It takes a lot of money, man. But you know what? I do respect them, because a lot of them, they go out to like different cities. I know a lot of car clubs in San Diego, like Game Over, Low Bottoms. I know they go out and they represent San Diego well, and they do their thing here. And like I said, they got much love and they got respect.
Yeah, exactly, man. So with the Lowrider game, it's just like that. Just to I forgot to mention, man. With the look on the car.
Yeah.
If you come on this way right here, you see the red coil springs. That's the old school way of doing things. Like I said, I was trying to make an old school look.
Yeah.
So I went with that look right there. Not everybody uses that anymore. That's ancient already. So I decided to do it for a Steve. I wanted to flow with the actual house of the car.
Also, much love to the other car clubs also putting it down for San Diego. Can't forget about them either. I just can't name everybody, but much love to everybody else too.
Yeah, I give a shout out too, man.
Them Streets, much love to them.
Yeah, them Streets, what's up? Big shout out to Aslan,
Dago Style.
Yeah, Dago Style too. Then we got
Group.
Big Dogs. Can't forget you
Big
guys.
Dogs.
Them too.
Is it Soledad?
Yeah, always Soledad. It's just so many to mention. Also, Group Car Club too.
Streetwise.
Yeah. Our locals too. My homie Juan, the Cadillac. IB Nacho, he gets down too.
Yeah.
Danny Aslan, we're out here too locally. The homegirl Liz, she's also riding. Right now, to mention, there's a lot of people out there I want to give props out to. What's up, Henry Llamas? What's happening, man?
Yeah.
Diego Style.
Good.
Fresco Raza. Don't forget you, man. So, we go. The next, I just want to mention too, the next thing I'm going to be building is I'm going to be putting Green Eyes' car together. It's a T-top Regal, 85, and that's coming out. We got to finish that up for her as well.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing a video on hers too. Once it's out, so that's gonna be pretty cool. So that's gonna be in the future.
Yeah.
In a few weeks. So.
Yeah, definitely, man.
So were you ever in the car club?
Yeah, I was an active member with Switch, and I was with them for a few years. Man, gotta tell you, all the good times we had, can't forget that, man. But yeah, I still talk to the guys, you know, even though, you know, some people move on, etc. I'm not here to talk about that, but I'm here to say that we had a lot of good times together still.
Yeah.
And I still bring it up to them, you know, regardless of where we were all at. So yeah, shout out to Switch. I know they're at this still right now. I was with Raza too at one point, out there with Fresco as well. Shout out to him as well. Joey, also part of Raza. So I was down with them for a bit. But yeah, that's all I was with at the moment.
So, for the people who don't got a classic car or a lowrider, like, what is the satisfaction of you know, of cruising these bad boys right here?
Man, well, they are attention getters.
Yeah.
They get a lot of attention. Whether if it's good attention, bad attention. The good attention is more like, oh, what's up? I like it.
Yeah.
So on. Then you get the, you know, the others that are driving a BMW next to you, and they give you that look. You know what I'm talking about?
Like you're too good for it. You know what I mean? But
and then you got the law that you
yeah.
know, they're looking at you like if, I don't know, like if you just robbed a bank or something. But otherwise, it brings a lot. It brings a lot of positive. I mean, even in the holidays, us that are low riding, we bring to the community.
Yeah.
For all the, you know, Toys for Tots even. You know, we're out there gifting. We're out there giving. We're out there providing, man. You know, we use it for that reason. Yeah, and I try to come around and bring whatever I can every time I show up to a spot, especially at the end of the year. Some people just want to use that for the glamour. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, don't use it for that. To look at me or so on.
I think too it's a culture thing too, because what I've known, lowriders and classic cars go way back. You know, all the way to the, I would say, you know, back to the like Pachucos and stuff like that with the old cars. So I think also it's a culture thing. And I think it's all pretty much all the energy you put, you know, within your hobby. You know, it's better to put your energy on a car than putting or wasting your negative energy on something like drugs or alcohol. You know, at least something like this, you have pride to show it, to show your creation, your project when it's done, looking like this. And you have that pride cruising down the street with your lady, your woman, your girlfriend, your significant other, whoever you could be, your pet. And it brings that joy. I mean, that's what I got when, you know, when I had my car. You know, that's what I got out of it.
That's true. Yeah. It definitely kept me away from a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I remember those nights trying to finish the car off till like 1 a.m. I had neighbors that would
crazy,
go clubbing,
bro.
female neighbors that go clubbing, they come back and they would tell me, hey, why don't you find yourself a girlfriend or something? You by yourself doing that. It's like, they don't know what I was doing though. I was gonna go ahead and be rocking and riding with this ride real soon, and yeah, you know, back clubbing and wasting time, or the womanizer, or the drugging, or you know, whatever bad influences out there, they don't compare to what I was doing here. But I gotta give most props out to the man up above, because he gave me the skills for this. I'm healthy enough to do this stuff, you know.
Right.
He gave me the brain to do that. So thank God Almighty for that.
Yeah.
And then the influence that my uncle gave me, because when we pulled out that engine out of that 80s Regal and showed me brakes, my Uncle David Ortiz, rest in peace, he started giving me that development as a kid at 13. Then from there I was doing tune-ups on my mom's Malibu Classic also. She had a 1977 Malibu Classic. Need brakes or whatever, so we didn't have to call on a mechanic. I was already acquiring the skills of basic tune-ups and service and so on.
Yeah.
And then down the road, that's when I just started saying, well, I can do that, I can do this further now and whatever. So that's all I did, man. I'm not really here to compete with anybody, just in case anybody asks me. No, I'm not here to compete with I'm here to compete against myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's me versus me. Like, I'm not worried about you or you. I'll help you anytime though, and I'll help you too anytime, but no, man, this is more like I want to better myself, and I want to do something better here with this. That's what I'm after. I'm after Louie.
Yeah.
You know?
So, is there a difference on buying a car already hooked up and fixed up? Well, of course, right? I mean, it's not the same, you know, like.
Well, I mean, you can look at it both ways. You can look at it like it's done, because the lifespan of a man is about 65, or we might get hit by a car tomorrow. Who knows? You can only build so many cars in a lifetime, right? That's why like you either buy them fixed or you're gonna be building them. And if you're gonna have a car that's a project and it's there, it's been sitting there for 5 years, 8 years. Remember, you only got this much life, man. And if you want to be building cars, you got to get to work, because before you know it, you're gonna be at a certain age, and you know you're not as healthy as you were at the point that you acquired a car. So buying it, yeah, it's a shortcut. I have nothing against that. If that's what you want to do, and if you got the money, hey, power to you, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna save yourself a lot of trips to the wreck yard and buying this and doing this and doing that. Me, I had the parts. This car's made out of a bunch of recycled parts from ecology, and I just put it together. But yeah, there's a big difference. I know what I have here. I know what works, what needs work. At this point, everything works, so I'm okay with it. But yeah, either way, man, you can do it whichever way you want.
Yeah, I heard that. So what do you think of, like, now it's like the women that are getting into the whole classic car lowrider scene? What's your input in that? Output in that?
I give them a lot of credit. You know, some might be building it. I know somebody. I know this. Rory's wife, I believe, his wife. She has his wagon, and I know she puts in a lot of work. I see her. I know there's other ladies out there that have cars.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Let's say Miss Sherry,
Yeah.
for example, with Unique Ladies, and the ladies there, and other car clubs that are, you know, for females. They get down if you're either renting it,
Yeah.
you've got the money, you've got the car, but they're doing it.
Women empowering women. I know they're doing their thing. Lady Lowrider, and the new one, Girls in the Hood, and then a bunch more down in San Diego, all over California.
All over California,
Yeah.
yeah.
Heck
So
yeah,
I
that's
give them a
cool.
lot of credit on that. You know what I mean? They got them, they're building them, they're driving them. That's what matters to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, respect.
I think it's a good look. Just you know, I think also for the culture, it just keeps us growing, and we have a place here in our cities. You know, so we're not forgotten.
Not at all. So as soon as we get all these pieces together, we'll have another lady out on the road real soon with her '85 Buick Regal. Yeah, definitely.
So how is your involvement in the lowrider scene impact culture, like, as in with this project here? I mean, like, as in, well, let's say like the future generation, like kids and stuff like that.
You know, I had that conversation here and there with others, and you know, like some of my guys out here locally in Imperial Beach, when we're in the garage and we do talk about our generation down the road.
Yeah.
We do wonder, you know, and I hate to say wonder, but we want to go ahead and apply the gift, the talent, and pass it down to them. But at this point, they also got to want to receive it.
Yeah.
We can't, you know, impose it on them and beat them with it. You know what I'm saying? And for these cars right here, I'm not sure, you know, how many of our youngsters are gonna go ahead and have that skill, because cars are changing every day. It's not like I expect that. I don't know. My future grandson is gonna go ahead and buy himself an '83 Monte Carlo and drive that to work, and he knows the car. You know, these cars are more scarce than anything. They're driving these newer cars, obviously, but the skill of the wrench, you know, that's just gonna have to be something that they're gonna want.
Yeah, I think also me growing up, my uncles had a lot of different classic cars. My tios, they had a bomb. It was like a 53, 54. Neil Marcos, and then my uncle Beto, he had a 1964 Thunderbird. We had my pops and my mom's, we had a Regal. I think it was like an 86, something like that. And then we had a bunch of other old cars. My cousin, my other uncles had a 1965 Chevy Impala Super Sport, a 66 Super Sport, and then a 65 Super Sport. And then I had my 1970 Impala. So I think a lot of it growing up into it and seeing the cars got me attracted to it and influenced me. And then, you know, just being around it and then just trying to, you know, like studying the years of the cars. And me, I was an Impala fan. So I pretty much knew from anywhere from like a 58 all the way to like the glass houses, 73, 74. And then just down the way growing up, just, you know, like you said, picking up a wrench and started knowing, you know, the paints and all that from my dad, my pops, Props to him for showing me that and giving me that knowledge, and then just having that love, just seeing it, seeing the cars, how good they look, and I just wanted everything to do with everything. I wanted to be part of it, part of the project, and get my hands dirty, man. And then once I was behind the wheel, it's that pride, it's that energy you put. It's like, man, I've done something positive. I've done something that other people can see, and other people hopefully they would want the same thing, and beautiful feeling.
That's true. That's true. There's nothing like driving behind the wheel in the fastest car you built,
Yeah.
or you own, or whatever the case is. Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, that's what I got here. I don't know what I'm gonna build next. After that Regal, I want to go into something. I really would like to get into something like a '52 Pontiac.
Yeah.
Something like that. That's what I want to get into.
That's going to be more challenging because the parts are older, and then it's more hard to get, right? Or is it?
On the Pontiac line, it's the hardest to get over the Chevy. It definitely is, man. But yeah, that's what I would like to get is a Pontiac.
Pontiac.
After this, yeah.
They're pretty cool. I've seen the older models. I like them. I also like the Chevys, the old school ones, Chevrolets.
Yeah, the deluxe.
Yeah. Also, like my cousin, he has like a truck, Chevrolet, and my uncle. I mean, I come from a family that loves old cars and old school cars, and still my cousin still has a '65 Chevy Impala, but the '66 they've been sold, so unfortunately those don't exist anymore in the family.
Yeah.
Or mine either. I sold mine, and because I had a lot of little things growing up, little problems, issues, and I just had to get rid of it. It brought a lot of negative attention to me. But thank you so much, man. A beautiful car. A beautiful day in Imperial Beach. Beautiful day in San Diego.
Here. Thanks.
Thank you. Let's do this.